to make close to like $14-15 or even close to about $16, right? So now from your almost $10 to $16, that is 6 points. So you have 6 points to 2, and when you ratio that out, it's pretty much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are most welcome. Well, this is your boy Francis. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. Well, what I'll be talking about today is going to be low float stocks, and these stocks, I will be watching these stocks come next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. Some of them I have positions and some of them I don't, and I'm looking for entry on some of these stocks. But one thing you have to understand, they are low float stocks. These stocks are under 5 million shares float. Okay, so we're going to talk about them, and I'm going to show you how I actually scanned for this particular stock or these stocks, right? So it is very critical and important that you understand the risk involved with stocks that are really short in float, right? So what you have to understand is they can go up fast and they can go down fast, right? So I will give you an example. I will show you an example why I think they are very risky. But at the same time, if you get in at the right spot and at the right time, I think you will be all right. Not really necessarily the right time, but when you get in when the stock is actually basing. What I mean basing, when the stock is finding support and maintaining support, that is for me is basing. As a result, you need to understand that a stock, if a stock actually bases correctly with all the moving averages and all that, exponential, SMA, simple moving average, and blah blah blah, if that stock is basing right, then you can define that as your support, your floor, and then you can get in with the risk in mind, meaning you can get out if the stock decide to go the other way, right? So that you want, as a trader, you want to understand what a risk reward really means and what managing your trade also means, and also risk management in general. So you want to be able to look for a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. Okay, like for example, you take a stock that is $1, and your idea is for that stock to either go to $3 or go to 0. So with that being said, your risk is $1 in order to get $3. So that is a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. That should be your number one goal in trading. And as you go on and on, like you get to 1-to-1, 1-to-2, I think you should be able to take some of your profit off the table, because why? You never go broke taking profit in the stock market. It is only the greedy ends up being the pig. Oh, I'm sorry to say that, but that is the case. Okay, the greedy always ends up being slaughtered, because they were like, oh no, I didn't take profit, I was waiting for the stock to go to the moon, right? And so many things are also factors in terms of trading as well, because you may have other things going up in your mind, and so many things, bills, rent, mortgage, blah blah blah, just your bills in general, right? And you cannot trade properly. Okay, so in order for you to trade properly, you need to take those things off your mind, and you need to incorporate the idea of I want to take profit on the way up. You want to take profit on the way up. There is nothing wrong with taking profit on the way up. AMC stock, I actually made decent amount of money on AMC, both on the share side or on the call side. I lost some on the call side. I made some puts. Okay, those puts that I made money off covers the little calls that I lost on. But the call side, I made a lot of money on the call side. So the calls that I really lost doesn't even count, right? But at the same time, I also made money on the put side because I am a trader, not an investor in this case. There are stocks that I have investment idea that I, stock like Fubu, Roku, Palantir, Tesla, Boeing, okay, Netflix, Baba, which is what they call the Alibaba, right? Baidu, all these stocks, these are my long-term stocks, like Abivi as well, ABBV, IBM, Chewy, which is CHWY. All these are long-term stocks, right? But going with the momentum of Wall Street bet and all that, trying to, what will I say, make a statement. I understand, but I am a trader first. Okay, I am a trader. I want to capitalize my gain. Okay, the market will always remain the market because we have the short sellers out there. There is corruption within the system. We understand that, but at the same time, we will keep fighting and fighting for the little guys out there, the retail traders out there. Because why? The big boys has been taking advantage of the small guy for a long time, and this will continue. It will continue. It will never stop. Because why? They will always look for loopholes in order to trap in the retail traders. That is the reason why it is important for you to understand the market before you get into trading. Oh Jesus. Well guys, it looks like I've been talking too much. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. I have few stocks, and this is how I actually looked for these stocks, right? What I did was I went into Finviz, okay, and then I click on the screener, and the screener brought me up this page. So as a result, for me, I always like to go to all, and then what I did was I went into the float, and I look for stock, or for float that is under 5 million. Then you get your 5 million. This website is free. Okay, I'm thinking about subscribing because I love them. I've been using them for years now. So, I'm thinking about subscribing because it is very good, and you can set your screener, you can set your alert whenever a stock put up a different candle signals, so you have to look at the chart, and then do your stuff. Even people who works also look at this chart at their free time, look at stocks that they want to get into the following day. So right now, stocks under 5 million float, we have about 353. Okay, so now what I'm looking for me, I'm looking for stocks that is actually trading something, right? So I'm looking for average over 200k, and I'm looking for current volume over 200k. So with that being said, now we have 35 stocks. That is what I told you guys about, that I have about 35 stocks. This one we have 33, right? So also you can filter based on stocks that are above the 200 simple moving average, which the institutions always look at. In most cases, they buy stocks that are basing off the 200 moving average, right? So if you look at that, let's see how many we can come up with. We have 24 stocks. Now let's dive into it. I like to look at the snapshot because it gives me the chart, it gives me fundamental details, and it also gives me the news. So now let's look at it. Okay, so these are your fundamentals, which I call the fundamentals, and you have the chart, and you also have your news, right? So with this, this comes in more of a technical standpoint. You're looking at the technicals, trying to figure out what is going on, right? So this number one stock is ACY. ACY, let's take a look at it on Thinkorswim, right? ACY, this is the stock. Volume is really crazy on this one. We take a look at the daily. This is what is happening to this stock, guys. Okay, this is what is happening. Look at that. Look at where you have your resistance, right? So right now on this one, you have your resistance right here. Looking at this candle, you have your 20. You have your 200 moving average here. You have your 20 SMA if you're using your 20 SMA. Right? But I'm looking at this resistance right here, which is 1089, 1090. Okay, $10.90. Then the next one is gonna be what? 11.50, 11.43. Guys, that is it. Now, one thing you have to observe about this stock is we have a trend developing. This is a beauty. So right now we have this trend right here. We have 1, 2, and 3. Guess what? We're going higher. And if this trend doesn't hold, maybe we go up, pull back, and then we fail. Now we have the support right around this area. That is what you look for, guys. You look for the upside and the possible downside. If you're long term, if you like to go long on stocks, you want to be able to look for those short side as well and say, oh, this is where I'm going to set my stop loss. Because you're getting in here, where's my stop loss going to be? I want to lose, let's say, okay, I want to lose to about $8, which will give you what, close to about roughly two points. Because this is around $10, and to $8 is about 2 points, right? And this 2 point is your risk to make close to like $14, $15, or even close to about $16, right? So now from your almost $10 to $16, that is 6 points. So you have 6 point to 2, and when you ratio that out, it's pretty much like 3 to 1, right? Because your 2 into 6 is 3, so 3 to 1, right? If they ask you, or if you want to bring it down more for understanding, right? So, and also if you look at, there's a news here as well. It says Eurocentury Corp ACY said on Tuesday that it and its 2 US subsidiaries have filed with the Delaware Bankruptcy Court a proposed combined plan of reorganization and disclosure statement with respect to its proposed plan to exit Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Boom boom candle. That is what I call the ultimate driver of this to push higher. This came out 6/23. So people haven't noticed this yet, but as soon as they've filed it, okay, the judge proposed the plan, but they haven't filed it yet. So that is when you see the stock going boom boom boom. Because they've proposed it, I want to be getting into the stock at the right time, so that when the news comes out, then I'll be like, oh yes, I am selling my particular stock. What did they say? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That is how you trade it. Okay, with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, now this one is AEHL. Look at how this one is basing around this area right here. I love to see stock basing around this support with overhead resistance right here. Looking at this, we have the 20, right? So this is a Chinese stock. Most cases I like to stay away from Chinese stocks, right? But at the same time, I do trade them, but with less shares compared to the US stocks. There is nothing against the Chinese people, nothing against Chinese stocks, but that is how I trade it, right? So AEHL is trading right now at 296. So it's trading right now at 296 with your resistance right here around this 310 area spot. If we can break this area, we should be able to push towards the 350 360 spot, or right here around, looking at this candle, okay, the 350 345 spot. All right, so the float is 2.18 million. Remember I said under 5 million, right? So which is really good as well. And the next one, let's look at the next one too. We have ALF. This one is already moved, so I will not be talking about this. I won't be touching this because guess what? We already extended. We stand the chance of a pullback towards this 20 moving average. Guess what? You get in right here. You have, you know, say maybe we push higher towards this resistance, which is now 2050. You know, and what about if we pull back down? So you stand a greater chance of losing than winning on ALF. If I assume you found the stock around this area, I think you'll be selling on the way up, right? So I don't like to take chances on stocks that is already up. This one, AVAH, this one is already, you know, right now we're forming a bullishness right here, which is, this is your what they call the flag, right? So we're forming a flag right now. So this is the area. The stock need to hold this area, okay, as this area is a support, this area is a resistance. So we break out, then we keep going higher. We break down, we pull down towards this support right here. Okay, that is for that. This BCTX, you know, look at the trade before. This wasn't trading nice, you know, and now look at how volume started since March. You know, we started gaining more volume and more, you know, decent candle than pop fill here. So right now we just need to base around this 20 moving average, and then we should be all right. This is Canadian stock, I understand. This is a US one, BRO, and keep an eye on this. I love the way this chart is setting up. Okay, I really do like this one for a move higher. Okay, this is a kind of stock I take, like, you know, $500, $1,000 position for a start, and then as things goes up, we continue adding, because right now if we break 350, we should be able to push towards the $4, or, you know, the $4.50-75. So this is a pretty good one to keep an eye on. I have this on my radar. I have this on the most important stock to watch, right? We have our support here at $3 ultimately, $3.10, $3. This is your support on BRN. Even if you take a look at it on stock chart, BRN is setting up really good, because when you draw this trend line here, this is your resistance. Okay, right now what I'm looking for is a boom boom candle. This candlestick right now is more like a doji, right, form of a setup, right? I won't call it a pin bar for now, but you know, the tail is greater than the body and the, you know, the top tail. So you know, you can just call it in between. But anyways, right now we have this trend forming right now. Your support is right here. Okay, with the move above 350, I think we get a boom boom candle towards the 450. Okay, so we're looking at this resistance right here at 450. The beauty of this BRON is MACD is coiling up, volume is coming in. Oh my goodness, the RSI. What is RSI? RSI is relative strength index. So right now we have that right here. Okay, so we have that. Okay, and BRON. Next one is CAV. CAV has a very tiny float, which is what, 560,000. Okay, 0.56 million. So that is a very tiny float. The reason is because look at how tiny that float is. So the candle will be really boom boom. Okay, this is your boom boom candle. So right now we're forming this area. There's a center of indecision at this point. We don't know where this candle is gonna go. Okay, but if you look at this, you look at this wick right here, this is engulfing this other candle. So I'm you know, more like 80% bullish on CAV. Okay, with your support right around the $10 spot. This is your support, $10, $10.75 is your support area on CAV. Okay, so we can push through. We see how we push to the $12 spot. That is your resistance, because you're looking at this area right here. This is your resistance spot. So we got the resistance, rejected resistance, pull back. So right now I'm expecting a visit of this $12, base around this $12, and then we boom boom up. But on the downside, okay, you're looking at it getting in around this area. You have your stop loss right around 975. Okay, or your support right around this area, which is, you know, your $9 spot. So you are risking your $9 in order for you to make $12 or $14. That is for that. This is beautiful. This is awesome. Another one to keep an eye on is CLWT. This stock, I'm not getting into the stock because this 367 is already a little bit extended. I know it's like 10 cents extension, so I'm looking for it to base around this area, okay, and then, you know, get in. This is a bullish candle. This is hammer. Okay, you can you know, check out my video about hammer as well. Then you can, you know what this is. This is pretty much a nice, you know, it's red, but for me it's bullish because it's an hammer facing the other side. So we have all the tails right here, meaning there's a lot of buying that came through, but the candle didn't close right. CTIB, this one is a beauty. The reason why I say it is a beauty is because we have our base right here, we have support right here. We just need to get through this trend. This is a doji, is indecision, meaning a lot of people are looking at this. The buying and selling is in equilibrium. And what is equilibrium? When the balance, pretty much. Okay, so that is your CTIB. The next one I'll be talking about is going to be our EVK. The same thing, we have the support right here. Okay, we have this support. If we break this, next support is your moving averages, right? What is going to happen here? Okay, I'm going to attach this list in the description so that you can, you know, take a look at all this for yourself and look at the one that really befits your trading criteria and that you really like, right, based on what I've said so far. Also, GBR, keep an eye on this one. This candle is what I call the boom boom candle. Okay, and we got this bullish candle followed by inside day, which in this case is bearish, and then we just sold off. We just consolidated right here. According to Cathywood, the bigger the base, which is the bigger the consolidation, the larger the consolidation, the bigger the move, up or down. But in this case, it's up. I wish it to go up because look at what happened here. Okay, let's take a look at it real quick. Look at the consolidation. We consolidated for a long time, and guess what happened? Get out of the way, short sellers, and then we push all the way up in a single day. This actually pushed all the way up. Forget about reverse split and all those stuff. This is a boom boom candle, and we just sold off. Right now we are consolidating. Right now we consolidated for a little bit and then push, consolidated a little bit and then push, and now we're doing the same thing right now. So what I'm expecting a push. I just want a 50% retracement back. 50% retracement, or even the 20 is still good. Even the 16 is still good. I just want some form of retracement. But I'm not waiting to get out of the trade at this 50% retracement. No, what I'm looking to do is to get out as we go up, right? We're going up. I want to be, getting out of some of my position during our resistance spot. That is how you do it, bro. That's how you do it, boys and girls. My people from India, my people from all over the world, my people from United States, that is how you win in this market. Okay, that is how you win. Now take example, just take this candle for example. A lot of people who bought here, say for example they bought 100 shares, okay, at this candle, and all of a sudden guess what? The stock is going higher, 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 and they did not take profit when we got to an extension to the peak, right? They didn't take profit. And it's like, oh no, it's still gonna go up the next day. The next day, guess what? We open right there. We open lower. They didn't take profit. So now, guess what? 100 multiplied by this range from 30 to almost what, 16, or let's say from 30 to almost 20. That is pretty much 10 points. That is $1,000 that they left on the table. And now they're battling here, and they say, oh no, the fear of missing out sets in, and the FOMO and all the confusion sets in, and say, oh no, it's gonna go back up. And it didn't go back up. So right now, guess what? We actually closed right here. So they miss all this move, okay? Because they are greedy. It's gonna go to the moon, okay? It's gonna go to the moon. They are greedy right here. For me, guys, I will be taking position of 10 shares, 10 shares, 10 shares, 10 shares. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4. At the end of the day, probably by this push here, I'll probably be out of 50 shares already, locking in the decent amount of money. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, that is how you do it, guys. That is how you do it. Okay, there's nothing wrong in taking out profit. You never go broke taking out profit. Take profit off the table every time. Take that thing off. Okay? You're not trading for anybody. You're trading for yourself. You are an investor. Okay? You're doing it for yourself. You are not doing it to show, Mike. You're not doing it to show Linda. You're not doing it to show anybody. Ain't nobody got time for that. You are doing it for yourself. You are trading your money. You're not trading, that trader on Twitter. That trader on Twitter said he's going to the moon. That trader on Twitter said this is the target. This is this. You own your own target. You want to actually trade based on your target. For me, I'm gonna be selling on the way up. Yes, I know these AMC guys will say, why am I talking about AMC, guys? I bought AMC when AMC was around this spot right here. $9 and I think 60 or 50 cents. When AMC was right around this area, I bought it. We pushed higher. I sold some, waited for this pullback, added my position to the one I already sold. The shares I already sold, I added back because why? We have support right here. I'm only gonna lose just few cents or few dollars, so I added because my support is right here. And then I rode this all the way up, and I sold some when we got to the resistance. Okay, I sold some around here, and guess what happened? I was selling on the way up. Okay, when we hesitated right around here, I sold some again. Okay, I sold some when we exited, like we pulled back. I sold some, and I said, okay, we're basing all this move. I added back into it, and then that pushed higher, and guess what I did? It got too extended, bro. I sold at the $70 spot because what? I am not greedy. This is what? This is a boom boom candle, and whenever I see a boom boom candle that is really extended way from the 200 or from the 8 EMA, okay, I get out of some of my position. And guess what? Now we have a bearish engulfing candle, which means we are pulling lower. I sold some. sold into this area right here, because what, support is right here. So I sold before we got to support, just in case we're going to hold this trend right here. You don't understand. This is a trend. Look at that. That is a trend. Okay, that is a trend. So with that being said, I held the remaining position shares into this push right here. We exited it here again. I sold some more position. So right now I'm really deep into the money. So guys, this is a beauty. Let's look at this chart real quick. AMC, right now we have what I call the trend support. If you're using the trend right now, if you're using this trend, this is the trend support. So we need to hold this area. If we cannot hold this area, we'll pull to this trend support, which is also this 20 moving average. Okay, my whole idea is for the stock to hold the 51.90 cent spot. If this stock doesn't hold that area, we'll pull to the $50 spot, which is our support. If this $50 doesn't hold, our next area is $45 on AMC. Okay, but note that we have this flag right here. Okay, we have this flag right here. So this is the area you need to actually watch, just in case we fail, pull down, or we consolidate and then push up. So this is the thing you need to look for while, you know, whatever you're doing on AMC, because it is very important to be able to trade the downside or the upside. But I'm looking for a target of $75 on AMC. That is what I'm looking for, because if you calculate this area to that area, they are almost the same. Well guys, that is it. That is your stocks, your low float stocks, your low float stocks, and your low float stocks under 5 million to keep an eye on. I will add this particular link in the description so that you can take a look for yourself. Peace and love, guys. Thank you for being here. Subscribe. I would love you to subscribe, and you know, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email me, feel free to message me, stock tweet, or on Twitter. I am always available. We can talk stocks, we can chat stocks, we can do what stocks we're dealing with. Investor, long-time investors, stock trader, whatever it is, we can talk about that stocks. Bye bye guys.